Welcome back to Talking to Teachers. I'm your host, Gavin McGott, and I'm here with mathematics teacher and the director of SAD, Mr. Frake.
Gavin, I'm thrilled to be here today. This is my first time in the new studio. It's awesome. You guys have really stepped it up around here.
Yeah, new and improved. All thanks to Mr. Lutz and Christian Brothers Academy. All right, so let's get right into it. So you, like I said earlier, are the math teacher here at CBA. You teach all grades, whether it's Algebra 1, Calc, which I'm in.
And at times, everything in between.
Yeah. So what made you want to become a math teacher?
It actually goes back to when I was a student here, and it wasn't something that I decided on right away, but a lot of the teachers that I had when I was here had a huge impact on my life. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking about what it was that I wanted to do with my life. And I looked at the teachers that I had here. And some of the teachers that I had are still here, Mr. Noonan, Mr. Mulligan, Senora Verhoeven. Yeah. People that I had for class that had a huge impact on me. Mr. Santinello retired a number of years ago, but he was my math teacher my senior year. And I look back on all that, and I just wanted to find a way to take what those guys and those women had done for me and pay it forward to the next generation of kids at CBA, which now is you guys. So I always am very hopeful that I'm having somewhere even close to the impact on you guys that those people had on me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I've had you for like 3 months, and it's been great. It's struggling, but it's been all right.
But we're trying to have a good time in addition to learning a lot. And I think we have a good crew. I think we have a good class. I think we have a good blend of learning and having fun and interacting with each other. I'm enjoying our class, and hope you are too.
Always, every day. Especially in the troll period of AP Calculus.
Of course. Maybe when we're not live on the air, you'd have like different things to say about me. but you know, when the camera's rolling, you got to keep it cool and professional. Of
course. Is there any reason you want to become a math teacher?
When I was a senior at CBA, I had a math teacher named Mr. Santinello.
Yeah.
And he was the principal before Mr. Fales, who in turn was the principal before Mr. Beckley. Mm-hmm. And before Mr. Santinello was the principal, he had Mr. Noonan's job for like 28 years or something along those lines. And I had him for AP Calc BC my senior year. And that was the first time in my life that anybody had ever told me that math was more than just do the problem and get the right answer. Yeah, he was the first person that ever told me math was more than just the numbers. And he tried to get us to see that math was something to think about and be intellectual about and actually learn about. And I was so shocked that was an approach that it was possible to take to math. Mm-hmm. It had such a strong impact on me that when I finally decided that I wanted to become a teacher, I thought about like what discipline I wanted to teach, what grade levels I wanted to teach, and it wasn't really something that was firm in my mind. But then I thought back to that approach to math, and I was like, I enjoyed it so much, like. I wanted it to be something that I could help bring to you guys, just as something that was an intellectual exercise, something to think about and learn from, not just to write down numbers on a sheet of paper. Yeah. So that was, as I was in the process of like deciding what I wanted to do with my life, that was kind of somewhere in the back of my mind the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, every class we have, obviously we do our problems, but then you really dive deep into making sure we like understand it and like where it comes from, which is, I think it's very helpful in like figuring out where everything's coming from, and it's a bigger take on math I don't usually have. So
that comes from Mr. Santinello, and that was exactly my reaction to it when I was going through it. I was like, I had no idea that there was that much thought that went into it. I thought you just like memorized the formulas, read the textbook, and then you got a good grade on the test. And that approach was so different to me, and I'm sure it's different to you guys too. But that's kind of of all the things I wanted to pay forward to you guys, based on the teachers that had an influence on my life, that was one of them. Yeah, that was one of those things.
Do you participate in any extracurriculars outside of school?
Yeah, they keep me pretty busy around here between announcing the sporting events, which the basketball season is coming up. I'm really looking forward to. Super excited.
It's gonna be a great time.
Now we have to pack the home games this year.
I mean, tell them. Let's get on that.
We have to pack the home games this year. Absolutely necessary. We have some big games in our gym.
Big shot going far.
Big basketball games, big crowds, very, very good teams. And, I mean, you do the Colt Morning News Report every day, so I'm not saying anything these guys haven't heard already, but the boys need support.
Yeah.
And that comes from the student body, and first and foremost, it comes from the seniors. So I'm really hoping that the seniors can take a leadership role in getting people to events, getting people to the basketball games. There were good crowds at the wrestling matches last year. So I'm really hopeful that the winter sports season is going to be a place where the student body really comes together.
And you mentioned, you've been touching on that you're an alumnus here. Do you have any favorite memories from your 4 years here?
I was at almost every single basketball game when I was a student here. And I was right in the front of the Colt Crazies senior year. And I met people I wouldn't have otherwise met. I hung out with people I wouldn't have otherwise hung out with. We had a great time. We enjoyed supporting the team, but we also enjoyed just kind of hanging out together. Yeah. And just having an outlet to hang out with people you wouldn't otherwise hang out with, to meet people you wouldn't otherwise meet. So when I look back at CBA, some of my favorite memories of the school were the sporting events and being part of the crowds at the sporting events. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping that can kind of carry forward to today because, it's a fun experience for you guys too. So you're now the Students Against Destructive Decisions leader. So I hope everyone knows that there's a huge dinner for the troops coming up. What do you got anything to say about that? Yeah, this is a huge week coming up for us, and SAD is another of the things that I do that I try to take all the lessons that I learned from the teachers when I was here, and I try to package them together in a way that's kind of as modern as possible and deliver them to you guys in a way that hopefully has some fraction of the amount of impact on you guys' lives that the teachers that I had here had on mine. But SAD is just one of those things. And I was in SAD when I was a student at CBA, right when it got started. I think the first year of SAD at CBA was the year before my freshman year. I joined it right away. I was a member of it for 4 years. We did a lot of community service projects. We did a lot of, events and meetings and discussions and things of that nature. And the moderator of SAD when I was a student here, this is actually kind of a funny, full circle story. Mr. Brennan's dad was a guidance counselor here for a very, very long time. He was my guidance counselor when I was a student here, and he was the first moderator of SAD. So when he retired in 2011, I took over the organization. I stepped into his place, and he really, he was invaluable helping transition from his leadership to mine because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just starting out. I was very new to the entire teaching thing in general, and so he really helped me get my feet under me those first few years. But one of the things that he really turned into what it is was the Dinner for the Troops. And so when that got started, it was actually one student whose idea it was. Yeah. And he had this idea for this fundraiser event for soldiers that were deployed overseas in honor of Lieutenant Dennis Zalitsky, who at that point had very, very recently passed away. And he went to Mr. Brennan and he proposed this idea to him. And I don't think the student who came up with this idea really realized what a huge operation it was going to be. So Mr. Brennan had said, it really did. And it grew over time. It grew over the years. And Mr. Brennan really spearheaded that. And then when I took over the organization, I tried to keep it going because it's such a good cause. Yeah. And supporting service members, supporting soldiers is something that in our country, in our society is so important. Yeah. So I really think that it's a huge event. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance surrounding it, but at the end of the day, it's supporting some really good people in a really good cause. Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice night. I went last year, and I actually interviewed you about it. And I remember. We touched through all those things. It's pretty awesome. So if you have not yet been, I highly suggest going. It's a great time. Any favorite teaching moments here? Funniest? Yeah, I mean. I think the reason you become a teacher in the first place is because you don't want to sit in an office all day. And that was kind of I didn't really know what I wanted out of my life. When I was you guys' age, when I was 16, 17 years old, I didn't really know what I wanted out of my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really know what I wanted to be. I kind of was just taking my life one day at a time and just, reacting to things that happened rather than planning in advance. But one of the things I did know was that I didn't think sitting in an office every day and staring at a computer screen for 8 hours a day was for me. And so that thought process ultimately led me to being here. And when you do this job, not every moment is perfect, but you have so many great moments of interacting with students and learning from people, and you have great times in class and great laughs with the students and with the other teachers. So there's just so many good memories of all the time that I've spent here, and 99% of all of it is interacting with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a freshman here, you didn't even know my name, and I see you in the hallway with your great charisma, and you're like, "Yo, what's up? Have a great day." And it really just, even if I was having a tough test that day, it changed my mood. It made me feel better. So,
well, you know what? I'm really glad to hear that.
Teachers like you is just it's what changes the experience here at the academy. It's awesome.
That was the experience I had when I was here, and I just wanted to bring that forward to you guys. Yeah. And like I said, I really hope that I'm doing that. You never really know.
Absolutely are. I guarantee you that.
When you're a teacher, you never really truly know whether you're having an impact or the impact that you have, sometimes until much later. But it really means a lot to me to hear that, maybe the work that I'm doing is benefiting you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome. So let's just end it off. You got any fun facts to spill? Anyone want to hear it?
When we turn the cameras off, who knows what'll come out. But no, I just think that the next week coming up is going to be a big week for SAD.
Yeah, absolutely.
The upcoming months are going to be huge for the student body. So I think this is a great time around our school, and I'd love to see the students be as involved in the next couple weeks as they possibly can. Come out to the Dinner for the Troops, support a great cause, support the legacy of Dennis Zielinski. Because, I say this a million times. If you're watching this, you probably heard me say this before, but Dennis Zielinski was one of us. He walked the exact same halls that we walked. He was on the swim team when he was a student here, and he sacrificed everything for what he thought was a great cause for his fellow brothers and sisters in the military. He sacrificed everything for that. And so the least we can do is kind of try to keep his legacy alive.
Absolutely.
So if you've never been to the Dinner for the Troops, it'd be awesome to come to the Dinner for the Troops. It's a great experience. It's a great cause. Support some current veterans, some veterans that served overseas a long time ago. I think that would just be. I think that having that support would be great.
Yeah.
And then when the winter sports season gets going, there's a lot of opportunities to meet new people, hang out, come to the games, support the teams, have fun. I think it's a good time the next couple weeks and the next couple months around here. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Mr. Frake, thank you so much for coming out.
That was a good one. That was loud.
That was pretty good.
The camera's going to pick up on that.
I think it does. That's a great way to end it. Hopefully you guys are going to come out to the SAD Dinner for the Troops and just, see you guys next time.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.